Hey everyone! So this video is the first video in my BPAL or Black Phoenix Alchemy Lab perfume oil videos. So I decided in the end to go with the good old-fashioned alphabetical order. Eventually I probably will do scent groups, so maybe like top 5 foodie scents, top 5 incensey scents, something like that as well, but at the moment I'm just going to go through my collection alphabetically. So if you're not quite sure what I'm talking about right now, I will post the introduction to BPAL video below. That way you can check it out and you can see what it is I'm talking about as well, which will give you some information on what they are, where to get them from, and just general info like that. You'll probably also notice that in this video it's the first time I've used my new lighting. So it is quite bright. I'm still trying to work out the best way to place it. I'm trying to work with some really big lights in a really small room. So it's getting quite warm in here, but we'll see how we go. So let's get started with the first lot of oils. Oh, and as well, apologies in advance because I have really bad pronunciation on a lot of these things, so I don't quite know how they're said. So I'm just going to do the best that I can, so forgive me if I get them wrong. So the first oil is this one here. It's Bad Mullet. And this is part of the Carnival Diabolic Act 4 Ladies of the Grindhouse collection, and that's what it looks like there. Now this particular oil has amber, cream accord, white honey, apple blossom, skin musk, caramel and teak. So what I get from it, I definitely get the apple blossom. And it's quite creamy, and honey notes. I'm picking up on the amber and the honey, but mainly on me, the apple is the first thing that jumps out. So I quite like this one, and that's the first oil. So the second oil is this one here, and it's Beaver Moon, and it's a 2007 edition. So it is limited edition, but you can still find them around on the internet, like eBay or the forum. This particular bottle, it contains wild cherry with vanilla cream accord and a hint of strawberry. Okay, what I get from this one is definitely the strawberry and the cherry, but they kind of melded into each other. It's really like a yummy berry smell, but it smells more like a cherry strawberry cake, like a cupcake. So I really like that one, and as you will be able to tell, I love foodie scents. So that's Beaver Moon 2007. So next we have Beaver Surrey. Now this one is basically what came about as the resurrected version of Beaver Moon 2005, and simply described as cheesecake and cupcakes. So it definitely is one of my favourite foodie smells. This particular one, I get a lot of icing, like cupcakes and icing and cheesecake. It's really, really foodie, and it smells amazing on the skin, at least on my skin it does. But yeah, so that's Beaver Surrey. You can still find a couple of these bottles floating around on the internet, so on the forums or on eBay, but this is definitely a sought after little scent, and I've got plenty of backups because I'm in love with this one. The next perfume oil is part of the Monster Bait collection, and it's Bigger Critters. So this one doesn't have as much artwork on the front of the bottle. That's what it looks like there. Now this particular scent is explained as being 5 vanillas with Moroccan jasmine, white gardenia and pink grapefruit. Now when I smell this is from 2007 as well, this bottle. Straight away I get the gardenia and the grapefruit, and it's a little bit creamy, so that must be the vanilla. It's not something that I'd normally go for, but I think in the cooler months this is definitely nice, because I find on my skin in the warmer months, anything with too much like gardenia and jasmine, it just is way too strong for me. But yeah, this is one that I like to wear in winter times when it's colder. And so that's Monster Bait, Bigger Critters. So the next one is quite difficult to find. So this particular one is Black Lace. Now this was released as the 13th anniversary scent for Dark Delicacies, and this particular one I bought in 2007. It's aged very well, and that's a good thing about the perfume oils. Some of them are best fresh, but I'm finding that a lot of the ones I like are best aged, which basically means the longer you keep them, the better they get. But this one's described as a delicate sugar-spun vanilla cream cotton, stained by tobacco and incense, Indian musk, and drops of cognac. So this one, it's very different. I do get incense, but it's not your typical incense that I get. I do get vanilla, like a smoky vanilla with musk and incense, and this one is very elegant and very sensual, and I really like this one. This is basically my going out somewhere really fancy kind of smell. It's a very adult, very sensual, sexy kind of scent, and if you can find it, it's definitely worth a try. Even if you can just get an imp of it, you don't need a lot, and this is a really fantastic one if you can find it, but it is very difficult to find, so I'm lucky I still have this bottle. The next bottle is another one from the Monster Bait collection, which a lot of my favourite scents come from that collection. This is a 2007 bottle as well, and it's called Bloody Mary, and so that's what it looks like. I love the artwork on the bottles. There's just so much detail and so much work. But Bloody Mary is described as chunky, glistening red fruits with sweet cream accord, black clotted cherry and powdered sugar. This one is so good. I really like it. It's red. If red had a smell, this is what red would smell like. I definitely smell the cream accord and the black cherry, but it's so good. And the sugar, definitely the powdered sugar. So this one is really strong. It's so rich and deep and red. But yeah, if red had a smell, Bloody Mary would be red. So I think red berries, and it's just so good. But this one, it's very foody, but in like a sweet berry kind of way. So it's not very creamy, it's more like bright and red. If that makes sense to any of you guys, I don't know if I'm any good at explaining it, but that's just how I smell it. The next bottle is from the Carnival Diabolic collection, and it's from the Snake Pit, and it has to be one of my most favourite oils ever. I have, I think, about 4 backup bottles, and the reason why I have so many is because as it gets older, I like it more and more and more. It just gets thick and gloopy and it smells so good. But you have to be careful with this one because it's very brown, it's a very dark oil, and so it can slightly stain in your skin, so be careful. But not permanently, just temporarily. This particular little baby is called Boomslang, and it's so delicious and thick, and yeah, I really like it. This one, it's including an oil. It's one of the most popular oils, snake oil. So it's including snake oil with cocoa, teakwood and rice milk. It's so rich. This particular bottle I've had since 2007, so that's almost 4 years. And it's rich and dark and thick and chocolatey, but it's basically like snake oil for anybody who's smelt snake oil before. It's very hard to describe snake oil. A little bit of spiciness to cocoa, but a really deep chocolate kind of smell, but not a foodie chocolate, more like a spicy, gingery, slightly cinnamony chocolate. But don't worry if you're afraid of ginger and cinnamon, it's not got any of those in it, but to me that's what I pick up, just that spiciness, and it's one of my favourite ever oils. So that's Boomslang. The next oil is part of Yule 2008, and it's Butter Rum Cookie. This particular oil is described as rum-soaked butter cookies, crusted with sugar, soaked in almond, and garnished with orange rind. I definitely smell the sweetness of the cookie. I do smell slightly the alcoholicness of the rum. I don't really get almond, and I don't really get orange that much. So that one was a limited edition as well, like most of my collection, but with BPAL you can still find limited edition scents on the internet and on the BPAL forum. The next one is again another one from the Monster Bait series, and this is Closet. Out of all of the Monster Bait that I own, this one is probably one of my favourite. It's very similar in scent to the Beaver Surrey and Beaver Moon, kind of similar to those, but I really like this one. So that's what it looks like. It's called Closet. This particular bottle I got in 2006, and it's described as bourbon blackberry buttercream over red velvet cake. So to me, and I've used a lot of this one, I have a backup bottle though, which I was lucky enough to find. Oh, straight away when you open it you can smell it. You can definitely smell red velvet cake in this, and just like buttercream, and it's so foody. As you can tell, again, I really love foody scents. But yeah, this one's so like yum. Red velvet cake. So it's similar to me. I get a similar scent, a mix between Beaver Moon 2007 and Beaver Surrey. So I'm glad I have a lot of backups of those, because if I run out of Closet, I won't be as upset. The next bottle was part of the 2006 Halloween. I think it also came out in 2009 as well, and it is Creepy. That's the name. So that's what it looks like. This one is described as, this is the scent of butterscotch-kissed, caramel-smothered red apples, spiked with a blast of coconut rum. Definitely rum. Butterscotch. I am smelling the apples. Definitely I'm not getting any coconutty smell. Definitely a rum smell, but no coconut. A little bit of caramel, a little bit of butterscotch, but a lot of apple and rum. But not, and then I guess, yeah, the other flavours kind of settle down the crispness of the apple smell. But yeah, so that one is Creepy. The next bottles were part of a Valentine's Day series, and they were from 2009. This particular bottle is Dark Chocolate and Cherry, and that's what it looks like. But as its name suggests, the notes are dark chocolate and cherry. So this particular bottle, the cherry is a different cherry to what's in Bloody Mary. It's not as dark. It's like a red cherry and dark chocolate. Like a cherry dipped in chocolate fondue, a dark chocolate fondue. The next one was also from the Valentine's Day Box of Chocolate series, and this one is Dark Chocolate and Pepper Smoked Caramel. That's what that bottle looks like. And as the name suggests, it's dark chocolate and pepper smoked caramel. So it's a little bit smoky, not a lot. Peppery, not really at all. Definitely caramel. The caramel is standing out more than the chocolate to me. So it's kind of like a rich caramel sauce. It is a little bit spicy on my nose, but that must be the pepper. But it's not really that smoky. It's quite pleasant. I do quite like that smell. So the next one sounds like a more complicated scent, at least when I read out the notes it does. And it's part of the Halloween 2008 series. It's Day of the Skulls. So the notes are, you ready for it? White sandalwood, beeswax and frankincense, crowned by hydrangea, rose, cantuta blossoms, dressed with tobacco, cocoa leaves, and flowers from the sacred cactus of the four winds. So there you go, that sacred cactus. I definitely get rose. I really don't get tobacco in this one at all. It kind of smells musky. I do get beeswax, but not a lot of it. It's kind of just like that waxy kind of smell. And frankincense and sandalwood. So I definitely get sandalwood and rose. So it's sort of like a floral, but a woody floral, if that makes sense. It is quite a complex scent when smelling it. and it doesn't really suit something that's called Day of the Skulls to me. The next oil is also part of the Carnival Diabolic Act 3, The Snake Pit, and it is Death Adder. So I actually quite liked a lot of the Snake Pit scents because I do like snake oil, so that kind of helps. If you don't like it, then you might not like these. But yeah, this particular scent contains snake oil with vetiver, black coconut, vanilla, and opopnax. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but that's what it says. Now let me just sniff this one. Still get the coconut. I love coconut. As you can tell, I love fruity scents, I love vanilla, I love coconut. This one is not a really fleshy coconut, it's more like a dried coconut kind of smell, like a black coconut. It is black coconut, but it's like, yeah, more like dried coconut. Definitely smell the snake oil in there again, and the vetiver. But the vanilla kind of just mellows it out just a little bit. And the last bottle for this particular video is a bottle from Halloween back in 2005, and it was released in 2006 and 2009 as well, but this one's from 2005. It's in their old kind of blue bottles, but this is called Devil's Night. Now this is described as, this is the scent of an autumn night, fires in the distance with a touch of boozy swoon, playful sugar and thuggish musk. Musk, definitely musk. A little bit of boozy smell. And kind of like leaves. So I guess that's where the autumn night kind of smell comes into it. But yeah, you kind of smell the leaves of autumn and like a musky smell. I don't get a lot of sweetness of the sugar. I don't get a lot of the booziness in this one, just a little bit. But yeah, so that's Devil's Night, and that concludes the first video. There's probably, judging by that, probably about 4 or 5 more videos to go just in the alphabetical order. Yeah, so as you can see, I own quite a few, but I used to own about twice as many as this. So anyway, that concludes the first video. That is the end. That's all of them from A to D. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful. Any questions at all, please let me know below. If you have any requests or you want me to go over anything in detail, please let me know again. But yeah, mainly I hope that you learnt something new, and I hope you found it interesting, because I think these perfume oils are really fantastic and there isn't really that much out there about them yet. There's a couple of people that I'm subscribed to, and they're subscribed to me as well, that review the BPAL oils, and I think it's fantastic because they're great, like they're so different, and I kind of like that in this. But yeah, so anyway, enough rambling. I will see you guys again really soon. Bye.